In 1955, Ernest Borgnine won an Oscar for playing a gentle butcher in Marty. But now, his daughter reveals what happened behind that iconic role. A shocking family betrayal, a studio's attempt to destroy his career, and a dark secret he kept hidden for decades. From hidden feuds to dangerous on-set rivalries, this is the story that's been buried for half a century. Ernest Borgnine was born on January 24, 1917, in Hamden, Connecticut. His parents, Anna and Camillo, were Italian immigrants who brought a rich cultural heritage with them. Interestingly, his mother's father was a nobleman, Count Paolo Boselli. When Ernest was 2, his parents separated. He and his mother moved to Italy for 5 years, where he learned about his family's roots. In 1923, they returned to Connecticut, and the family reunited. They decided to change their last name from Borgnino to Borgnine, which later helped Ernest stand out in Hollywood. When he finished, the room went silent. The director and writer had tears in their eyes. One of them even said, "Well, there's your Marty." It was a powerful moment that set the tone for the entire film. Borgnine brought so much honesty and vulnerability to the character that it made everyone believe in him. Marty wasn't supposed to be a big deal. The producers actually made the movie as a way to save money on taxes. They planned to make a cheap film, release it once, and write it off as a loss. But when they finished it and showed it to an audience, the reaction was incredible. People loved it. The film, which cost just $343,000 to make, went on to earn over $2 million. It became a surprise hit that no one saw coming. The movie was shot in just 18 days, which is really fast for any film. They filmed for 7 days in the Bronx to make it feel real, then finished the rest in Hollywood. Spencer Tracy. But the audience erupted in applause when his name was called. Borgnine gave a short, emotional speech, thanking everyone who believed in him. His win proved that you didn't have to look like a typical movie star to touch people's hearts. Ernest Borgnine's performance in Marty changed his life and Hollywood itself. It showed that audiences wanted stories about real, relatable people. His $5,000 paycheck turned out to be one of the best deals in film history. The movie won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, and became a timeless classic. But there was one problem. Now everyone saw Borgnine as Marty, the shy and gentle butcher. In just 18 months, he was offered 637 scripts, and almost all of them were for characters just like Marty. Borgnine didn't want to be stuck playing the same type of role forever, so he decided to turn down most of these offers. He wanted to prove that he could play many different kinds of characters. In 1956, he chose a very different role, playing a tough sergeant in Jubal. This was the complete opposite of Marty, but rejecting so many roles slowed down his career, and he lost a lot of money by saying no to offers that could have made him millions. Still, he believed it was the right choice, and by 1958, he was getting roles that showed he could do much more, like in The Vikings and The Badlanders. By 1962, Borgnine's career needed something to sell used cars than star in a TV series. But one day, a kid selling candy came to his house and didn't know who Borgnine was. When Borgnine asked if he knew James Arness from Gunsmoke, the kid got excited and said yes. That made Borgnine realize how powerful TV was. He changed his mind and asked his agent to find him a TV role. This decision led to McHale's Navy. McHale's Navy turned out to be a big success. It brought millions of viewers every week and made Borgnine a TV star. The show was so popular that it even inspired 2 movies where Borgnine played McHale again. Thanks to the show, Borgnine's career was stronger than ever. After it ended, he got more roles in both movies and TV. Between 1966 and 1975, he acted in 27 movies and appeared in 18 TV shows. People saw him as a versatile actor who could do both comedy and drama. Ernest Borgnine's career got a fresh start in 1967 with his role as Major General Sam Worden in The Dirty Dozen. At that time, he was 50 years old and looking for a new chance in Hollywood. The movie was a big hit, making $45.3 million in the U.S. Borgnine played a serious and tough general, and people loved how real and strong he seemed. At first, Borgnine didn't want the role because he thought it was too small, but the director, Robert Aldrich, called him personally and promised to make the character bigger. Borgnine finally agreed, and it turned out to be a smart move. On set, Borgnine did his own stunts, including a dangerous jump from a moving jeep. He got hurt. He got the role just 2 weeks before filming started. On set, Borgnine did many of his own stunts, like swimming through a flooded hallway. During one scene, his foot got stuck, and he almost drowned, but he freed himself and finished the shot. The filming was tough on everyone, with long hours and injuries perfectly. One of his most famous lines, "Evil," happened by accident, when his voice cracked during recording. The producers loved it and kept it as a funny part of the character. Borgnine voiced Mermaid Man in 17 episodes over 13 years. His last recording was just months, and things got worse during their honeymoon in Europe. He said Merman became jealous when fans kept recognizing him and asking for autographs. This made her angry, and they argued a lot. One story, though it might not be true, says Borgnine played a prank on her during the honeymoon, and it went very wrong. This just added to the drama. Their divorce became a big public event. Merman filed for divorce on August 21, 1964, saying Borgnine had been cruel to her. Borgnine didn't agree and said Merman had abandoned him. They fought in court over who was right and even over who would keep certain gifts, like Merman's expensive engagement ring. After months of arguing, the divorce was finalized on November 18th, and Borgnine had to pay for Merman's legal fees. Their marriage was over, but the drama around it lasted much longer. After years of failed marriages, Borgnine found happiness with his fifth wife, Tove Tresnaes. They met in 1972 on a blind date set up by friends. Even though Borgnine was 55 and Tove was 31, they liked each other right away. They got married on February 24, 1973, in a quiet ceremony in Las Vegas. This marriage was different from his others. Tove was independent and had her own successful business, a cosmetics company called Beauty by Tove. Borgnine supported her work, and she supported his acting career. They built their marriage on friendship and respect. They worked hard on their own careers, but always made time for each other. Borgnine often said the secret to their happiness was giving each other space while staying close as a couple. Their love lasted 39 years, until Borgnine died in 2012 at the age of 95. In his later years, he often said he wished he had met Tove earlier because she brought him real happiness. Borgnine's career was also marked by conflicts with co-stars and directors. On the set of The Wild Bunch, 1969, he clashed with William Holden over Holden's drinking, which Borgnine believed was disrupting the production. Their argument nearly turned physical. During The Dirty Dozen, 1967, Borgnine had tense encounters with Lee Marvin, who often drank heavily and caused trouble on set. One night, Marvin even challenged Borgnine to a fight, but Borgnine diffused the situation without violence. He also had difficult moments with directors. While working on The Catered Affair, 1956, Borgnine suggested changes to a scene, which initially angered director Richard Brooks. However, Brooks later acknowledged Borgnine's ideas in front of the entire crew, showing how Borgnine's instincts sometimes earned respect, even in tense situations. Borgnine's approach to acting was refreshingly simple. He famously said, "No Stanislavski," referring to the complex method acting techniques popular in Hollywood at the time. Instead of building elaborate backstories for his characters, he relied on instinct and emotional honesty. He believed acting was about imagination and drawing from real human experiences. During a lecture at the Yale School of Drama, Borgnine told students that acting was as natural as having a conversation. This straightforward method confused some of his peers, but worked well for him. Borgnine prepared for roles without overthinking, saying acting kept his mind sharp and made him feel young. His intuitive style allowed him to play a wide range of characters, from the gentle and kind Marty to the brutal Fatso Judson in From Here to Borgnine loved working in television. He once said he preferred it over movies because being on TV felt more personal. "In TV, you're in people's homes every week," he said. "They get to know you and trust you." It was an unusual opinion for an Oscar-winning movie star, but it showed how much he valued staying connected to his audience. In 2009, Borgnine made history. At 92 years old, he was nominated for an Emmy for his guest role on ER. In the episode, he played a man whose wife was dying in the hospital. His performance was quiet and deeply emotional, lasting only 12 minutes, but it left a huge impact. At first, Borgnine had turned down the role. He joked that he was too old to hang out in emergency rooms, but when he read the script, he couldn't say no. The nomination shocked Hollywood, especially younger actors who didn't even know Borgnine was still working. It also highlighted how rare it was for older actors to get big roles. A study in 2010 showed that only 11% of TV roles went to actors over 60, which made Borgnine's success at 92 even more incredible. Even as he got older, Borgnine didn't slow down. In 2010, at 93, he starred in the movie R.E.D. alongside big stars like Bruce Willis and Helen Mirren. Around the same time, he was still voicing the character Mermaid Man on SpongeBob SquarePants, a role he loved until his death. He also kept acting in films, including Another Harvest Moon and The Man Who Shook the Hand of Vicente Fernandez. Borgnine often joked about how people underestimated him. He once said, "They keep asking, 'Is he still alive?' But he always proved them wrong. In 2011, when Borgnine was 94, he received the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award. This award celebrated his incredible 60-year career and his efforts to help others. Borgnine gave a humble speech, saying, "We are a privileged few who have been chosen to work in this field of entertainment." The ceremony showed clips from his best-known work, from his Oscar-winning performance in Marty to his funny role in McHale's Navy. It was a perfect way to honor all that he had achieved. Even in his final months, Borgnine stayed active. In May 2012, just 2 months before his death, he gave a lively interview at a fan convention. He shared funny and heartfelt stories about working with legends like Frank Sinatra and Bette Davis. In April 2012, he made his last public appearance to promote his final film, The Man Who Shook the Hand of Vicente Fernandez. At 95, he still had the charm and energy that made him a star. On July 8, 2012, Ernest Borgnine passed away at the age of 95 from kidney failure. He was surrounded by his wife and children. His death marked the end of an era, as he was one of the last surviving stars from Hollywood's golden age. Tributes poured in from across the world. Morgan Freeman called him a good friend and a fine actor. Tim Conway, His co-star from McHale's Navy remembered him as one of the most honest people he had ever met. Even the U.S. Navy, where Borgnine had served for 10 years, honored him with a heartfelt statement.